Hey guys!
Hi everybody!
We are back with the next part of our trip report.
We are.
We're going to talk about our experience at Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Which
this
we're
was
super excited about.
Yeah, Universal Studios Orlando. This was what, Halloween Horror Nights 27? Yeah, and this is our third year. Third year going. We've been having a really good time. We usually go for 2 nights. Did we go 2 nights last year or 1 night?
We usually go for, I think the first time we went, we stayed for 2 nights, and then we just started going 1 night.
So yeah, last year we went 1 night. This year we went
think we're going to go back to 2 nights though.
Yeah,
this.
because we found out that even when you're just there for the horror night stuff, it's just a little bit too much stuff to get done.
It's too much to get in. It's really hard to get
in 1 night.
in.
And we had the Express Pass.
We did.
Tell them what Express Pass is.
Okay, so Express Pass is basically you get sent into the Express line.
Well, first, Horror Nights itself is a separate ticket. It's,
right.
We don't go to Universal on that day. Well, I mean, we have, but...
Well, okay, so you've got the separate Halloween Horror Nights ticket. Then you've also got the separate Express ticket if you choose to do so. And then they have other ticket options too. You can get front of the line passes. You can get tours, RIP tours and things like that. Those are of course more expensive. So it goes up from there. But it's a pretty hefty, expensive price just to get the Express. So I don't know.
If you want to go to Horror Nights at Universal Orlando, and they also have a version in California, it is a separate event, so you don't have to go and buy a Universal Park ticket.
Right.
And stay there all day. No, you can just come for Horror Nights.
Exactly.
Which starts at what time?
It starts at 6:30. This year it started at 6:30. I think it had been starting at 7, but I'm not sure about that.
So if you have your Horror Nights ticket, you can go for that. And at that time, certain rides are closed. Most rides are closed, really, right? And everything.
I think the Mummy is open. And
is E.T.'s closed, I think.
Gringotts was open as well. And I got to ride that. E.T.'s closed. Most of the things are closed.
Most attractions are closed.
Rip Ride Rockit was open.
Because you're there for the haunted houses.
Right.
Mostly. And basically, Horror Nights is the haunted houses. And
the scare zones.
The scare zones, which are basically the streets you walk through that have themes and characters running around scaring you and jumping at you. And there is usually a Bill and Ted show, or there has been for many, many years.
Sadly, this was the last year for the Bill and Ted show.
Final year for the Bill and Ted show.
And I've got my shirt to
She picked up the Farewell Dudes shirt. I had to get the Ash versus Evil Dead shirt because I'm a huge Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Ash fan.
So am I, but I had to have Bill and Ted.
And that shirt is great, and I'm tempted to order it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm tempted to order that one too.
Yeah. They had some good stuff there. They had some good Shining shirts like the Twins.
I know. Oh God, the Shining.
Yeah, so they have houses. They have the Bill and Ted show. They have the scare zones. That's pretty much everything. There's also, or there was last year, a special dinner you could pay extra to go to.
Right.
And maybe they have that. They have that
do.
This
they
year
had
too.
it this year also.
We didn't go this year, but we had a great time the year we did go.
Yes.
This is just, we cut it down to one night. Well, last year was 1 night also, but yeah, we should have gone this year. But it's worth going.
Well, yeah, we had other stuff that we wanted to experience at Fort Wilderness, so.
There's this, we had so much to do.
Yeah.
And there was so much to do at Horror Nights that we didn't do at all.
I know.
In 1 night,
crazy. We expected to do everything, but even with the Express Pass, the Express is getting kind of long now.
I still thought it was pretty efficient to have the Express Pass.
It definitely was, but now even the Express Pass is long as well. I mean, the first year we went, we were zipping through the lines, and the last 2 years it's been really
Well, let me
crazy.
say, I wouldn't even go if I didn't have an Express Pass.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I wouldn't even go to Horror Nights without an Express Pass.
And certainly don't expect to get half of the houses done if you're doing...
And that's something... we didn't see all the houses, and in fact, a couple that I really wanted to go to, we didn't go to, because we had to decide, were we going to see the final Bill and Ted show? and we didn't go to Bill and Ted last year,
No,
and there's a reason for that. As much as we love the movies, as much as we love Bill and Ted, I even love the cartoon. But we saw it the first year we went.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, I don't know if I should say it wasn't what we were expecting as people who had never seen it before.
Right.
Basically, it's a stage show with two guys who are perfect Bill and Ted.
I know, they're awesome.
They're excellent. But the whole show is basically making fun of pop culture. It's just a lot of jokes.
And current pop culture. And some old school stuff too.
You know what it's really like? Have you seen those really terrible movies that were coming out a lot a while back? Comedies called Epic Movie and Date Movie.
I
they
saw
were just,
them, but I never watched them.
They were just reference movies, and basically things were just, they got to a point where they didn't even follow their theme anymore.
Right.
It was just a lot of references from different movies and stuff. That's what this show is. But it's got Bill and Ted, and they're great, and some of the jokes are funny.
The jokes are funny.
If you get them.
Yeah, because we don't
watch reality shows, and that's a big source they use. But it's just, if you're not into every aspect of pop culture.
And we're not super into politics either, so
politics, they cover everything. I mean, I know that I think this year at least, I got more of the jokes probably than you guys got.
No, I got some of the jokes this year too. But more than the first year, I would say, I think.
And they make fun of Disney a lot. And we're Disney people, so it's kind of like, it's still funny, but at the same time,
it's really funny to me because I'm not as huge of a fan with the modern Disney stuff, and they make fun of a lot of the modern Disney stuff, and I love it. It's hilarious.
Some of the modern stuff I do love. Like, for example, this year they made fun of Moana.
Oh, it was awesome.
You liked Moana when
I do like Moana, but
Moana's excellent, and the stuff they were saying.
They had a point with the stuff they were saying. Yes, they did.
They were about halfway there.
We're like,
it's for example, they were making fun of one of the songs.
Right.
It's actually a really great song.
Yes, but they've done it 20,000 times before.
That wasn't even the point they were trying to make.
Yeah, they were.
They were trying to make a point that it was just like a song where you just are talking about the things around you that you're seeing.
No, she was talking about how the lyrics were not original and like everything. I mean, because they have done that song and that plot line I don't know how many times, and I'm tired of it. So
I totally disagree.
I'm ready for something new.
I feel like you weren't watching the movie, but that's a Moana review.
I watched that movie and I watched Frozen and I watched all of it.
You halfway watched Moana. She halfway watched Moana. No, okay, stop. Moana review coming eventually. Okay. I'm a Disney fan, okay?
So am I, but we need some classic Disney stuff.
All right. Universal Horror Nights. So anyway, Bill and Ted, they make fun of a lot of stuff. It's not like a Bill and Ted show. It is, but it isn't, you know, because it's about pop culture.
Well, I mean, you got Bill and Ted in there.
They're just like the hosts.
And they bring out Rufus, and they
didn't. Not this year.
Well, I mean, they reference Rufus. Like,
did they bring him out last time we saw it though?
I'm not sure about last time. But
they had a lot of cool references. I mean, there's stuff you'll get.
They'll do texts on the big screen, and they'll get a text from Rufus and things like that. And they did bring out the Reaper this year. This
year, so I guess we're talking already about the Bill and Ted show.
Yeah.
Although we saw it much later into the night, but we'll go into the order of things later. But this year, and it was fitting with the idea that it was the last show, they brought in the Grim Reaper from the second film.
Yeah.
And again, just like Bill and Ted, this guy was perfect.
He was so good. He's
amazing.
acting, everything.
The accent, everything was perfect, and he looked exactly
the way
like
he
him.
danced.
It was
just like the one in the movie.
This guy's amazing, and if you get a chance to go, don't miss the Bill and Ted show. Even if you're not into the pop culture references, I mean, it can be a little awkward when you don't know what they're talking about. But there's still a lot of funny stuff that you're gonna get,
and it's the last one.
And the Bill and Ted stuff is amazing. I mean, there's elements I can see kind of where they got the idea, because it's sort of like that the main scene in the movie where they're on stage at school and they're bringing out all the historical figures, except this is not really, I mean, it's pop culture figures,
right?
But it's It was really. It had some really funny moments.
And
death was the highlight.
Some really tear-jerking moments too, because they were commemorating the past shows.
Yeah, it was.
And the history.
Yeah, it was all about the fact that this was the final show.
I'm tearing up just thinking about it.
It was definitely. I mean, if you go this year, do catch the Bill and Ted show if you like Bill and Ted.
I mean, here's the deal. Like, the fact that there is a show around, or there was a show that, no, it's still currently around, you can still catch it, that even references or has Bill and Ted is just amazing to me, because we love it so much.
And I'm wondering two things. I'm wondering what they're going to replace it with.
I know.
Because I was thinking, oh, well, now we're going to have time to hit all the houses next year.
No, they'll replace it.
But no, there's going to be something.
But if it's something like a dance show, I know that the new dance show is supposed to be really good, but we're not totally into that.
Well, they already have that anyway. I think this will be something closer to what Bill and Ted was. I'm also wondering, the other thing I'm wondering is why they decided to get rid of them this year. And I mean, because it's been what, 20 years or something? They've been,
oh yeah, they've been.
Is that correct?
They've been doing it since the mid '90s, I think.
Oh gosh, but because there was just on some show I was watching just the other day about how Bill and Ted, the original actors, Keanu Reeves, and what's his name? No one, you can never remember the name.
We like him though because he's in.
We love him. He's also from Lost Boys.
Lost Boys, yeah.
But that they're trying to get a third Bill and Ted movie made or something.
God, that would be amazing.
I don't know how you can do that without Rufus, but maybe bring Death back. I don't know. But anyway, so I was thinking
CGI.
Maybe that's why. Hey, CGI.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that, but maybe that's why they're ending it, because maybe there's going to be a new Bill and Ted movie. I don't know. There probably will be, because if they can't get a third one made, they'll probably reboot it.
Exactly.
But anyway,
which I hope they don't.
I don't really want a reboot.
There's no way to capture that 90s vibe unless you were doing.
Well, they're not going to be trying to capture a 90s vibe. It's going to be a modern vibe.
Are there people
when they reboot stuff? It's not to do it in that time period.
I understand.
It's to do it in this time period.
And sometimes they do it in the same way. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. There's not.
Like Valley Boys or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure there are. I think that's like a place.
They could make
and
them
there's people
hipsters
there.
Instead. Which would be hilarious.
God, nobody wants to see that. You can go to the coffee shop and see that. Or anywhere here in Austin.
Hipsters or something.
But and the other thing we have to mention about that show, though, as much as we're recommending seeing it, is that it's a very sexy show.
Oh yeah, scantily clad men and women.
They have their dancers that are it's just all throughout. There's a lot of, I don't know how they worked this into the idea of a Bill and Ted show, but a huge part of the show are these exotic dancers.
It looks like a big Halloween party.
Yeah, and it's, you always get your allergies during the videos.
I don't understand it.
But you're gonna. I mean, there's a lot of sexy dancing. There's it's a big part of the show.
They're all wearing like Halloween costumes, and they're all wearing costumes that are.
They came out first.
Culture.
First, they came out. They were sort of making fun of cosplay, and so it was all the sexy cosplay.
Yeah.
It was very enjoyable. That's kind of my fetish. But yeah, so if you're not uptight and you enjoy that, you're gonna enjoy the show. So we recommend catching it. It's the last show. Honestly, if it wasn't the last show, I don't know if we would have caught it. Because we know we
Probably
don't
not.
get all of the references, but we would have, because the houses versus the show, if you're only got one night, you can't do both.
We had been waiting to hear back from other people who had seen it already to see.
Well, we knew it was the final show.
Oh my god!
No more sneezing.
I know.
Okay, so so we definitely recommend checking it out if you're there.
Absolutely.
The Bill and Ted show. And so that was one part of the night for us. But let's start at the beginning for us.
Okay,
what
let's
we
do
did.
that. I think I have the list right here.
Oh, we have a list.
We did.
We should say we make a little itinerary.
Yeah,
but we discuss it as you make it. And
I don't know if you can see that.
But you don't have to do that. It's just, it's helpful to get into your head. Like, we don't carry this around and look at it.
No, we don't.
It's just helpful to get it into your head.
To read what you're going to do for the day.
So that you don't forget, because you will forget some things. That's the key thing. It's not that you're trying to be like a strict, like, let's pull out the notes of what we're going to do at this time and this time. I mean, mostly it's just so we don't forget which show things we want to see. Which houses and which shows. There's a lot of stuff. It's very easy. So we started.
So the first thing we did was we went to American Horror Story House.
We discussed, by the way, well, we already discussed this in our previous video, that we rented a car to get there because we were staying at Disney, and you can't get a Disney ride to Universal. But anyway, watch our
we
wilderness video where we talk about that.
Like taking a car. We got a town
car where they pick you up. Yeah, that's a very good way to do it. Or I guess they have Uber and stuff. But anyway, so we got in and we were focused on what were our priorities for the night. Oh, you know what the other big thing was? I forgot to mention. Bill and Ted, haunted houses, the scare zones, and Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, Diagon Alley. You gotta go to that.
That's not like part of the Halloween Horror Nights, but it's open.
Right.
And we love it. And if you've ever been to Universal, you probably love it. It's it's the best thing they have at Universal.
Absolutely.
The Harry Potter stuff, best thing at Universal.
I love it.
So we went in, and first thing, you go through a scare zone before you can get to a house, basically?
You go through the Altars of Horror scare zone.
Altars of Horror, which is like, what is that one?
It was all of the memorable, well, some of the memorable characters from each haunted house that they were featuring this year. So they had the twins, the Grady twins from The Shining.
Because there's a Shining house this year.
Yeah, and they had, what else did they have? They had the lady from Insidious, the witch lady, or
it's the like the lady all in black. It was like actually a possessed, ghost character. And then they had like what, the neighbor lady from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh yeah,
I never saw her.
The possessed neighbor lady, and we didn't see her walking around, did we? No. And then they had. Did they have Sam walking around?
No, they didn't.
Oh no, because that wasn't a house.
That was a scare zone.
They had.
They might have had somebody from the Purge. No, Purge had its own scare zone. They had the demon from Sinister.
Oh yeah.
Bagul, I think. Bagul or something like that. And sure. Some random characters like that.
So this is the opportunity that you have to take selfies with them or take pictures of them. have them come up to you? Or?
Oh yeah, and this particularly works with the sexy female characters because attractive women are fast walkers and they don't like to give you a chance to talk to them. So and it's the same with these scare zone characters that are supposed to be there for you to take pictures with. They'll walk by and you'll be getting your camera ready and they'll be gone, But the trick, and I learned this at one of the scare zones I was all excited about, which was the trick or treat scare zone. If you see them coming at you, turn away from them and act like you're going to take a selfie. Actually prepare to take a selfie, and they will come up behind you and get it, and they'll photobomb you. It's
perfect.
That's what they do. They photobomb you. Just when you see them coming, just turn around and get your camera. They'll pop in on the side, and you can get in there with them. And that's the plan. It works.
Awesome.
Once I figured that out, it worked every time.
That's awesome.
So now I'm ready for next year.
Yep.
But yeah.
So those are the characters in that scare zone, and then you get to go to the American Horror Story house.
Yeah, that was the first house.
I loved this house. How about you?
I did. I was kind of, because they had American Horror Story last year, and this covers the seasons they didn't have last year.
So
it covers Asylum.
Coven, and Roanoke.
Yes. And we binge watched Roanoke right before coming.
Yeah, we liked it. I liked it a lot.
Find out which houses you want to go to, and or if you want to go to all of them. If the ones that are based on IPs, you need to watch the movies before you go, or watch the shows, because it really helps. It really does. And
you get more out of it.
Yeah, and I really liked that house. I really did.
Me too. There were, and they had a lot of the important, memorable scenes from each season. They had a lot from Asylum. We don't want to spoil this, or do we? For people.
You don't want to spoil it, but if there's something worth saying, say it.
Well, the Santa Claus.
It's not the same as
the Santa Claus character is in there. Yeah, from the Asylum, and they do this amazing mirror trick that you'll want to see. It's fantastic. He pops out, but you don't really see him when he's hiding, and it's incredible.
I don't remember seeing Emma Roberts in there anymore.
I don't think Emma Roberts is in there.
Yeah. So something I want to mention real quick, because I just thought of with the Express Pass, you only get to use that once per house.
Right, and only once per ride if you decide to
once per house per night, or is it only good for one night and you have to get another one?
You have to get another one if you're going to do that.
For
However,
each night?
they do have certain tickets that you can buy that if you're going to go 5 nights throughout 6 weeks.
So they got all kinds of little packages. You got to research the tickets.
Excuse me.
She's having sneezing attacks.
Sorry.
You got to research the tickets for Disney and Universal for anything. So are you gonna sneeze?
No, I'm good.
You have to research your tickets.
Yeah.
And you have to research your express passes, and you got to research even for Disney Fast Pass and all that.
Yeah.
Because there are limits and things like that. So know the limits that you've got on you, especially because you're shelling out big dough.
A lot.
But anyway, I really enjoyed that one, and right after that one, we went to The Shining.
The Shining!
The Shining was one of our big ones. It was, if not the most anticipated.
I think so.
Along with Ash.
For me and for Evil Dead.
But I didn't expect Ash vs. Evil Dead to be scary.
No, not at all.
So, this is the one that we thought might really creep us out. Because, for me, growing up, this was one of the scariest movies, The Shining.
I never found The Shining scary.
I don't find The Shining scary anymore. Maybe it's because I've watched it a million times now.
When I was a child, I didn't find it scary either. It's more comforting to me.
There were a few scenes in there that freaked me out as a kid. But you've seen it so many times now. None of it scares me now.
So much.
And it is a great film. I love it still. But
whenever I need to relax, that is the movie I put on.
But I still thought some parts were going to be creepy. I thought it was excellent, The Shining. I will say the part where the blood is coming out of the elevator, I thought was going to be a film kind of a thing. But it was just still. It didn't move at all.
Oh no, it moved.
When I walked by, it was just...
When I walked by, it was gushing out.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting because I always thought I saw that in the videos.
It was gushing out when I saw it.
So you never know what you're going to see.
Right.
Like with Halloween, horror, what was it, American Horror Story.
Oh, yeah.
You miss things. Like we miss Pepper.
I completely forgot to mention that it really does depend on who you get in front of you and who you get in back of you in these lines.
Yeah, they keep the line moving, and sometimes the people in front of you will cause your timing to be wrong and not get the scares.
Not the people directly in front of us, but the people in front of them. They were making a huge deal out of the experience, and they were so scared. I don't understand how you can be so scared of these things.
It was an American Horror Story, or
below, it's fake.
American Horror Story.
But
yeah,
I
don't really get scared in these things.
They were so scared to the point that they couldn't move past certain areas. And now I might just do that and pretend like I'm that scared so that I can get all the scares myself. Because that was so annoying that they were getting all the scares and we didn't get anything.
We got some. I didn't. You're talking about American Horror Story.
I hardly got anything for American Horror Story. Yeah, I had to actually look back.
Well, I was behind you.
I had to look back and see what you were getting.
That sucks.
In order to see what was happening.
And then you can't go again because you had the express pass. You can only go once. You can go again if you get in the regular line. But who wants to do that? It takes forever.
So that part was, I was really frustrated with that actually. So you can't really prepare for that. I guess just go 2 nights. Make sure you go 2 nights so at least you'll get the chance to see a good, a good run through of it. Talking
about like attractions that are still open, they have that big huge roller coaster that is right over those two
Rip Ride Rocket.
Those 2 houses. I guess that's what it's called. That thing is running all night. I think there's people on it, right? Yeah, I don't ride that stuff on a bike. I can avoid it. Girls can drag me on, and then I go, but...
I rarely ride those either.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, back to The Shining.
I was going to say, this is a sort of a running thing. It's kind of fun. This is not a complaint by any means, but it's kind of weird that the twins from The Shining were really hot. Not for you, but for me, they were a little less creepy because of that. But not a complaint.
Okay. Well,
same thing with some of the other houses I encountered.
Yeah.
The wing lady with the wings from...
Oh yeah, that was a little weird. I was like, she's not supposed to be that pretty.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, that was
It's not very scary. But not a complaint.
I don't find that character ever scary though. I think she's supposed to be kind of like this peaceful kind
The nurses
type
also...
Anyway, so back to The Shining.
Pretty much everybody on the street. Universal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Universal.
Universal
they sex everything up.
Yeah, it's just, you're surrounded. But it's awesome.
So some amazing parts of The Shining. They had. I think my favorite part of the house was the ballroom scene. They had the gold ballroom, and you walked in, and it was so funny because this lady who worked there, they have one of those people in every house, trying to hurry you along. There was nobody in front of us and nobody in back of us at all, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna enjoy this. So I took my time, even though she was like, hurry, hurry, hurry. But it was amazing. They had the ghosts dancing and sitting in the chairs, and then they had the waiter come out, or the bartender.
That whole scene was awesome.
Just, and whoever that bartender actor was, he was incredible. It was spot on. It was awesome. So that was probably my favorite scene. Now, there are some things that I saw in the Hollywood previews, the Universal Studios Hollywood, that I wish they had done at ours. And so it kind of makes me sad. I wish that we could hop on an airplane and go to Hollywood, because they actually in Hollywood, they used carpet on the floor with all the iconic scenes in the hotel. For instance, they had this carpet, and they also had some other geometric shaped carpet that they use in the hotel that are very iconic, especially in the bedroom scene with the old lady, the creepy old lady. they really decked out the design at the Hollywood one. So I was a little, I loved it so much. I mean, I was crying because I loved experiencing it because I love The Shining so much. But there were some parts that I was a little disappointed with as far as the set design goes. But once that gold ballroom came around, it was incredible. So.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And it opens up with the maze facade, which is incredible.
And I'm glad that, not that they were perfect, but I'm glad that the Jack Nicholson guys in ours were not wearing full face.
That's one thing that
masks.
I don't like about the Hollywood is that they wear full face masks.
Yeah.
And I believe at ours, they're kind of just wearing like these skull caps or something, which I don't even know why they did that, but yeah, I don't know. There are guys out there who look like Jack Nicholson. Our dad was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can cast some.
Yeah, and they did a lot of other really good casting throughout Horror Nights. Like the guy who played Death, but also like in the Trick or Treat Zone. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
There was some good casting.
So The Shining was amazing. Go check it out. Then we saw The Fallen. What did you think about this one?
I could have skipped that one, and it saddens me because there was a couple. There were like 2 or 3 that we didn't get to do that I would have much preferred doing over The Fallen, and maybe even over another one we did. I'm not sure.
Over Dead Waters.
Dead Waters was a little disappointing, except for the entrance way.
Right.
The Fallen, you're like in hell, and it's just demons and stuff, but. I don't know, it reminded me, we have one here in Austin called, what is it called? House of Torment.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great for a local haunted house. It's here every year, and it's fine. But at Universal, it was like that kind of thing. I felt like I was at House of Torment. Which,
well, that's also how I felt about one of their scare zones that we'll talk about later that I did not enjoy. But, yeah, I really liked some of the things they did with it. Like there were a few fallen angels that they had flying, which was incredible. I really enjoyed some of that.
That was pretty cool. I don't know if I saw one flying, but maybe I saw one that was like had wings and it was up.
And the wings were like flapping. It was pretty interesting.
That was cool. I
mean,
but that's what I mean. It's like some local haunted houses are that good,
right?
But are almost that good. So I guess that's why. I mean, they had some original houses I really was excited for this year, and we didn't get to do them. But that's why, in general, I think going to something like Universal, they should really do fewer original houses because they can get those IPs, they can get those movies and TV shows, and that's what's really cool because you connect with that. It's
so funny that you say that because
there's a plot to
so many people in the HHN community.
I know they really love
the originals.
I'm not connecting to the originals. If there's a story there, like I don't know, you have to read it online or something to really get it.
Right.
I'd rather, and I'm a movie person. Yeah. I'm a movie guy and I'm a TV guy. I get more out of that.
That makes sense. So the next one was Dead Waters, and I have to tell you, I loved the facade of this one. It was a steamboat.
The facade was fantastic.
It took place in New Orleans, or in the Louisiana Bayou area, and it was about voodoo. And I wish I could have gone through this one again because they had some levels that you would walk on, like different.
And it
was a little difficult to go through.
Mom even said this, and I totally agree.
Because you were looking at the floor the whole time.
Yeah, you're too busy making sure you're not going to fall because you're walking on a slant.
Right.
That you're not enjoying anything. Yeah. Because you're just trying not to fall. So
I think
I don't know. I mean, I get the idea.
Yeah. But a lot of. I mean, that one was artistically beautiful. I mean, because I love that. I love that concept, the Louisiana Bayou, and all that stuff. Absolutely.
And I loved the way the facade
They had old creepy blues music going on. Yeah. I mean, it was very Skeleton Key-esque.
I just think they needed something more significant popping out at you. There were some zombies and
you know what
the voodoo lady at one point.
I didn't see the voodoo lady. I never got to see the voodoo lady.
I thought you missed her. Yeah. She was kind of elevated. She was like on a platform and we walked around her and she, leaned over and you just walked right under her and you didn't even notice her. And I did, because I got that scare though.
Yeah.
I was timed right for that
I totally
scare.
missed her. I was too worried about Mom in that one.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to fall and slip in some of these houses, so you're just adding to that when you make the ground slanted and stuff.
So,
or wet. Remember that happened last year. Our mom slipped in the ice.
Yeah, it was
It was a cool effect and everything, but there was water everywhere. It might have been, was it raining? I don't know. But I think it was just melted.
It had flooded.
Melted
flooded
ice
that night,
from that.
From the rain.
Oh, I mean, so yeah, haunted houses are dangerous anyway, just for slipping and stuff.
But they had, let's see.
I think they needed some kind of. I guess it's because with the IPs you have like one character that's going to keep popping up on you, and it just gives it something that's less random and.
Well, this one has a backstory. They had.
I mean, they had the voodoo lady, but she only pops up.
They had the voodoo lady a few years ago as a scare zone. And
a pretty intense looking scare zone.
Right.
We weren't there.
It was called Bayou of Blood.
Yeah.
And they actually had to pull her. Maybe after a few days of having her out there, they had to pull her because it was so intense, and I guess people were complaining or something. I'm not really sure about that.
If they did that now, I wonder if they would pull.
So people were really excited. HHN fans were really excited to see her again because they loved her. She was out in the streets doing a voodoo ceremony and
they were doing like sacrifices in the streets.
It was really cool.
That was pretty intense from the videos we saw.
Right.
But yeah.
So that was that one. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and after that. Was that when we went to shopping or? I know there was a Purge scare zone right outside.
Right. We went to the Purge. Scare zone, and we saw.
We didn't really go through it though.
No.
We just saw it.
Do you support the Purge, ladies and gentlemen? Because it'd be awfully sad to find you've given refuge to one of those
There's a big school
swine.
bus. There's somebody on top of the bus preaching about the Purge.
I'm not very into the Purge. I haven't seen a lot of the movies though.
We've only seen the first movie.
Right.
Now, I've been telling her for quite a while. I've heard that the sequels are great.
Yeah.
The first one, Ethan Hawke is awesome, but it's just I don't remember it being that very, very good.
I can't get past the first one really because I think I've mentioned it on here before, but I'm really tired of the masks. The masks.
The happy baby face mask.
I'm really sick of that.
On the guy in the rich guy in the suit.
And they're just like tilting their head and and then the crazy
which
girlfriend
they were doing.
or
Sure enough, that was
just like,
all over the street.
It's not scary and it's annoying actually because usually it's some rich kid in that outfit in the movie. I just want to smack him in the face.
Yeah.
Just like.
But
so I mean, really, but like, where's Ash Williams right now? Like, get the chainsaw out.
but I mean, I still want to see the sequels, and I still think it's a good. The Purge is a cool idea. I love, we love that.
Well, I love post-apocalyptic,
the dystopian
futures.
Stuff.
I love that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one of my favorite things. But yeah, I don't know. So anyway,
and then we went to the shop because the shop is right there,
and it's a really nice shop. Do not miss this shop if you're going.
There's one specific shop that is the Halloween Horror Nights shop, and it's on the New York area.
Yeah.
And
it's right in front of the Purge.
Yeah. And that's where they have all the stuff for Halloween Horror Nights. That's where we got these shirts.
And they decorate it really nicely with memorabilia from all of the movies, or it's really interesting to even go in there and look.
And you can get shirts.
We got our T-shirts, my farewell dude,
pop figures, all kinds of stuff. The only thing I bought was the shirt, and I always get my lanyard.
Lanyard, yeah.
Which I'll show that, and I should have it right now, but. I didn't think about it, but I'm going to do a haul video, and I'll show my lanyard there. But it's just this year they didn't really have
an icon.
An icon character. I kind of feel like this was a year of low ideas, on the originality front. Last year we had Chance, which was, she's kind of a Harley Quinn ripoff.
But she's got her own.
She's kind of a mix of Harley Quinn and Baby from. Was it Baby? Is that her name from?
I think it might be. Yeah.
From Baby Firefly. From House of a Thousand Corpses and all that. She's kind of just the mix of those two, but she's a lot of fun. I mean, she was there at that dinner that we went to, and she was hilarious. And that was a great icon. And before that, they had Jack the Clown guy. I like Chance
I think
a
I
lot
like
more.
Chance better. Yeah.
The other guy is the Joker ripoff. You know, I mean, that's what they were doing at that time. But I know they have other icons from before. And this year there was just nothing, and it was just like a.
I really want to see the usher, and I really want to see the director. I wish they would bring those guys
that
back
sounds
out.
cool. I'm not super familiar with them, but that sounds cool. I remember seeing them because was it last year or the year before where they were doing a return of all the previous ones. Yeah, that'd be cool. But anyway, so this year there was a design for the whole
and I was not a fan
thing,
of the
and it was just like a motorcycle type skull.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's on the lanyard, but I'll show.
Very generic.
No actual. We thought it was gonna be some kind of Day of the Dead thing, but that's not what they did. Because Day of the Dead is like crazy popular now.
It's very strange.
Yeah, but anyway, so from the shop where we got our shirts,
We went to.
By the way, like the first thing I do when I get there is I buy my lanyard, because you kind of need a lanyard for your. I mean, they've been using my old lanyards, but you need one for your passes because you got to show your. It's like, you know, your pass. I mean, you have. The first thing I always do is I buy my lanyard because you have to show it. You know, when you're.
You have to put your two tickets in it. You have to show your express ticket every time you walk in the line.
Every time you go into.
So it really helps to have a lanyard. Absolutely.
Yeah. Which are like $10. So,
right,
and it works as a souvenir. It's the only souvenir I got the past couple of years. This year I just had to get an Ash shirt.
I would suggest definitely to do the will call with the tickets, or to have the tickets shipped to you. Will call is free though, and you just take the card that you purchased the tickets with and the confirmation number or the barcode, and you enter it into the computers they have in the front of the park, and there's rarely a line. I mean, I walked right up to the screen and got mine printed out, and that way you have them in a nice little. It's a little card. They print out in a little card so you can fit those in your lanyard. Otherwise, you're gonna get the print at home tickets, which is just like a flat piece of paper. And I have seen so many people go up to the lines when they buy an express ticket with one of those papers, and they never work. So I think it would be really important to get the cards. So just,
and I get the lanyard before I even enter the park. I get it at City Walk, which you have to walk through to get, which I find very annoying. But you have to walk all the way through City Walk to get into the park and to get out, and that's just the big universal mall of shops and things that have nothing to do with the park at all. Yeah. But they have little stands that sell park merchandise, including Halloween Horror Nights stuff. But anyway, so after we went to the shop and got our t-shirts.
Then we went around, we looped around, and we, we didn't, we skipped Festival of the Deadliest.
Festival of the
We kind of glanced that way. And the reason why we did that is because I had seen videos online of this, of people who had previously went, and it was basically just kind of people on stilts and girls.
We saw a little bit of
girls
that.
in like, I don't know how to describe it.
I took your word for it, although then we were at the park and you were like, oh, it's scantily clad girls and stuff, and I was like, what?
But not like not your type of.
But it's more like motorcycle girl type.
Yeah,
thing.
And like kind of.
Sometimes it's good. It depends on the girl.
Kind of gypsy-ish stuff, but not cool gypsy.
I like
more
gypsy
like,
stuff.
It was very generic. It didn't look like it was.
I bet it was pretty cool.
But even, I mean, like not even...
But what happened was we were in a hurry, because when we were going towards the shops, or even towards those last couple of houses, we started talking about Bill and Ted. And I was like, look, we're going to make it to Bill and Ted, because I do want to catch the final Bill and Ted. And then we were like, well, if we go do that, and we also remembered Trick or Treat, the Scare Zone, because that's one of my favorite Halloween movies, and I'm like, I want to get to that Trick or Treat Scare Zone, and I want to do Bill and Ted. So we started going to.
But I gotta tell you, most people are not liking the Festival of the Deadliest Scare Zone anyway. It's just basically whatever you have on that lanyard, that's what it's based on. So it's kind of like generic colors and themes and things like that.